Hey there and welcome to No Recipe Required. I'm Dave and today I'm going to show you how to do a jack-o'-lantern soup. Now jack-o'-lantern soup is really for the kids. You know, I've got a kid of my own, she's not really eating soup yet, but I've made this for my nieces and nephews, for other friends' kids. They absolutely love it. It's really just based on a pumpkin soup, which is really easy to make. And then we do a little jack-o'-lantern design at the end so that the bowl looks up at you like one of those nasty pumpkins. You know, if you're creative, you can get really cool with it. It's really a lot of fun, and I know your kids are going to love it. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start our pumpkin soup. And you know, this soup, it's very similar to a lot of the other soups we make. I'm going to start off with a mirepoix, carrot, celery, and onion. I've actually got a little bit of jalapeno in here because pumpkin, you know, it's a bit of a sweet soup. And I think sweet and heat go really well together. I've also got a couple cloves of garlic in there. And you don't have to be too careful with the chopping on this one because we are going to puree the soup at the end, make it nice and smooth, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to let these go for probably 7-8 minutes till the onions get translucent and soften a little bit. Then we're going to come back. So after, you know, anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes or so over medium-high heat, my onions, or your onions, are going to turn nice and soft, translucent. We're going to add 2 herbs. That was thyme. I just added probably a teaspoon. And then I've got 3 sage leaves that I'm going to add. You know, sage, pumpkin, you know, butternut squash, it's those fall herbs go absolutely perfect together. I'm just going to stir those in. And then for our pumpkin, you can certainly go ahead and you know, cook down your own pumpkin. I've actually got some pumpkin pie filling here. I couldn't find you know, just standard pureed pumpkin. If I could, or if I had, I would have used that. And then kind of doctored it up with some like allspice, maybe a touch of cinnamon. You got to be careful with those herbs because they're pretty powerful. With pumpkin pie spice, you know, it's got, or mix, it's got a little bit more sugar automatically in it. So be a little careful adding those. I'm going to kind of cook mine off and let it go, and we can always adjust with a little bit more at the end. Once I've added that pumpkin pie mix in, I'm going to cover it with chicken stock. Actually, kind of more than cover it. Add maybe 3 cups of chicken stock and get it you know, a little bit thinner than what you're looking for from a soup consistency, because it's going to reduce down, and eventually we're going to puree the other vegetables in here, which will thicken things up. And I'm just going to let these cook until everything is soft and it comes together for probably, you know, 20 minutes to half an hour. You want to just keep it on a nice simmer. Don't let it furiously boil. And then at that time, we're going to come back, we'll taste it, make any adjustments, and do our puree. Okay, after about half an hour on a light simmer, all the you know, vegetables are going to be nice and soft, fully cooked, and we're just going to take it and go ahead and blend the soup. You can easily do this with a blender as well. Just be really careful, hot liquids in the blender. Once we get this all blended together, we'll come back, we'll give it a taste. Okay, so after we get soup pureed, you want to give it a little taste. It's nice and hot. This one is it's really nice. It's, you know, it's frankly a little sweet because we use that pumpkin mix puree. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to take some of that sweetness away. I'm going to add a little bit of cream, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons. Blend that together. And then I thought I could use just a touch more sage as well. So I'm going to throw 1 more leaf in there. And then blend this up, and then we'll serve it. Okay, let's go ahead and serve our pumpkin soup, which we're turning into jack-o'-lantern soup. This is something, you know, I love doing it for my kid, for my nieces and nephews. It is, it's very cool. What we do, we just plate up our pumpkin soup as normal, and then I happen to have just a little Ziploc bag here, sour cream that I just push down into the corner. And I'm just going to cut off that tiny tip, the slightest little hole, and then we make our little jack-o'-lantern. Some triangle eyes, little nose, and of course the mouth. And we've got perfect little jack-o'-lantern soup for Halloween. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.